Barakatay Haba, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is The Unbelievers Will Not Stop This Truth. And pretty much this is based off of a video I was watching. As you see here, Elder Pastor did a video called I Want You to Keep that same energy. Come on, man. I want you to keep that same energy when it's time for you to take you know what. And pretty much, this was a reaction to the elder, Manata Zakbar from the South Carolina camp, where he did a lesson called There Will Be a MOTB, Don't Believe the Hype. And, it's crazy because, as we've always said, you got these individuals that had no clue. This guy can't be no more than probably, if anything, in his early 30s, maybe mid 30s. I can't really see him that good. Probably in his 40s. I can't really see him that well. And prior to YouTube coming out, you didn't have any of these clowns coming up saying anything. You weren't talking about the Bible. You were just a simple-minded individual in the world talking shit. You probably was into all kind of bullshit out there. 5% or whatever bullshit you was into, but then all of a sudden here it is, you have the prophets coming out here, breaking the scriptures down the proper way. And then you have all these big brain, all of a sudden, they done got a brain in their head and a mouth to speak and just talking shit. And that's what the Most High is going to wipe out a lot of you devils out there. A lot of you black, Latino, and Native American Indian devils, the Lord's just gonna wipe you out, because you're a fucking waste of sperm. You're useless eaters. You're persona non gratas. You're just evil. Not worth a waste of space individuals out there. You just extras. You just pawns in the Lord's movie. You're just like those extras that make like little cameo appearances here and there, but you never see him any other time in the movie, And the Lord got to, see. You got to understand too that a lot of this bullshit that's going on is because the Lord is allowing these demons to reveal themselves, so that when He brings the judgment, they can't say they haven't been warned, and that's the bottom line. The Lord is allowing a lot of these individuals to expose themselves, to just start saying whatever it is that they want to say, because the Lord ain't deal with them, like the scriptures say, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. It is set in the heart of the sons of men to do evil. But when they're going to realize that, when they're going to be like, oh shit, when they're going to, consider all of these things. Well, when the Lord really starts to put the screws to them and allows Jacob's trouble to really blossom. And we can't wait for that, because although, we're going to be hit with that uncomfortability, it's going to serve as a, to show the facts of who the Most High is dealing with. It's going to really show, who is really telling the truth and who is not. And for the most part, the elect will be taken care of, Hosea 5:15, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense. And that's the thing. Jake is not acknowledging their offense because they have no fear of the Lord. They can talk all the shit they want because they have no fear of the Lord. They do not fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They think Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is a joke, because they look at it as, the so-called white man's Jesus, or their so-called God, that fairy that they teach about. That's why they don't fear the Most High. But when the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, really starts opening up on Jake, they're going to be, pushed into a corner. They're going to realize that they have no cloak, they have nothing to cover them, no covering, And then they're going to want to get serious. They're going to want to call upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But it's going to be too late. It says, and seek my face, because Jake is not seeking the face of the Most High. They're seeking everything but the face of the Most High. In their affliction, they will seek me early. So during the time of Jacob's trouble, you're going to see a lot of these clowns, men and women, that have been talking shit. I'm talking about Israelite men and women that we shouldn't even call Israelites. Should call them what they are, just a bunch of degenerates. You might as well classify them with the heathens. You know, that's when they're going to want to really get serious. They're going to be like, oh, man, oh, my God, them Israelites were right. They were right about this, man. I got to get myself together. You know, they're going to try to pray to the Lord. And guess what? The Lord ain't going to hear you. He gonna stick it to you. And whatever judgment the Lord got for each and every one of you, the Lord is just going to stick it to you. You know, and you're going to be in a bad case. And you're going to wish in that day that you didn't make mockery. You better talk to Mike Epps after the Lord smoked Ricky Harris. And he, you know, the brothers out there in LA was cursing him out, and he came and apologized. You're going to learn the respect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You're going to learn not to blaspheme his words, not to play around with his words. You're going to see. So let's go to the first scripture I have, Romans 3. I wrote a couple of precepts down. I built off of this scripture here in the book of Romans chapter 3. I have built off of this scripture and pretty much got a few precepts off of here for the lesson. Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? So because you don't believe that these things are coming, because this individual, this clown, this demon, this heathen here, said that there's not going to be no MOTB, and that the so-called white men in America are the real Israelites, and that the small hats are the real, you know, Jews, and so on and so forth. He's going to eat all his words. He's going to eat all his words. You know, and you have these are see, when you see individuals like this, you're really looking at a devil. You're looking at a demon. You're not even looking at a human being. You're looking at a demonically possessed vessel that has the appearance of an Israelite. You know, the Lord gave these dudes over to a reprobate mind. You know, so it goes on to say, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? So what is the faith of the Most High? These words. He said he's not going to break his words, not even for his great namesake. So their unbelief is not going to stop the prophecies of the Lord, because the Lord said, let's go real quick. For those of you that may not know, Isaiah 55 and 11, just go straight to the point. Matter of fact, I'll start at 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near, because it's letting you know that there's going to come a point where the Lord is going to flee away. He's not going to be as easily accessible as he is now. Not that he's easily accessible, but you have a lot more open doors, you know, to understand the names of Yahweh and Yahushai and how to call on them for them to hear you. But that's going to be slowly but surely taken out of the way, because the closer we get to the end, and the greater the persecution comes for the truth, the less you're going to hear about the truth out there, because they're coming to shut it down. It says, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And these individuals, the scriptures say that a fool trusts in his heart, or something like that. The heart is wicked above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And let him what? Return or convert unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's the message. But the message is only going to affect the elect of the nation of Israel, which are the ones that's going to come to the light. And he will have mercy upon them, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So it don't matter what you believe. Don't matter what madness you spew out of your mouth. Your thoughts are not the Most High's thoughts, neither are your ways his ways. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. It says, for as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not hither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater. so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. So whatever the Lord spoke is what's going to be accomplished. So basically, the MOTB, which is written in the scriptures, will be accomplished because it is a major part of prophecy. But it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Why? Because it's at the command of Yahweh Bashem Shai that these prophecies are coming to pass. So going back to Romans 3, and let's read this again. 3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? So will you stop the words and the prophecies of the Most High just because you don't believe? Excuse me. The Most High forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true. So let the Heavenly Father be true. The things that are written, let them be true. But every man a liar. Did not he tell the prophet Daniel that the prophecy is sure? And we have a more sure word of prophecy in the book of Peter. So let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, including you old weasel. You weasel. You, including you. Man, these jakes, they're a fucking plague. All right, they're worse than fucking roaches. All right, they're worse than fucking rats. Rats and roaches have a greater purpose than these demons. It says, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, so that the Most High Yahweh will be justified in his sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Why? Because he wrote it down already. He gave the visions. He gave the warning. Now he's going to bring the judgment. If you can receive it, beautiful. If you can't, don't know what to tell you. If you can receive it, you're not of the Most High. Yahweh Bashem Shai. Romans 9:6. It's a good precept that came off of that. It says, Romans 9:6. Not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, right? Because not every Israelite you see out there is a part of the elect, like this individual here. He's not a part of the elect. You know, he's a candidate to be chased down and smacked upside the head by a couple of missiles. And that stupid look on his face is going to be wiped off when he sees those missiles flying in the sky. And even before that, when he sees all hell breaking loose out here, you're going to see a different individual. You're going to see the bitch come out of a lot of these individuals that's talking all that shit. They popping off and saying all that shit because ain't nothing happening. That's Jake. I'm gonna have to give it a throwback. I'm gonna have to go way back. You know, Jake be selling nothing but wolf tickets. All right, wolf tickets. But then when the Lord puts it to them, they're gonna be singing a whole different song. You watch and see. So they are not all Israel, which are Israel. So let's go from there to same book of Romans. There's another good precept off of that. Romans 10 and 16. It says, and is this 16? But they have not all. Matter of fact, I started 14. How then shall I call on him in whom they have not believed? Because these individuals do not believe in the Lord. But their unbelief is not going to stop the words of the Lord. That's the point. And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? See? And how shall they hear without a preacher, which is a teacher or a prophet? And how shall they preach except they be sent? This individual was not sent. He wasn't sent by the Lord anyway. He might have been sent by agents. You know, they might have paid him off to say this stupid shit. And these devils ain't got no integrity. These devils here, they ain't got no integrity. These jakes, they had no fucking integrity. They'll sell their mama out if they just to make a buck. It says, as it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. And the gospel of peace and the glad tidings of good things is the salvation of Yahweh Bashem Shai and the destruction of this kingdom and the establishment of the new kingdom of Yahweh Shai, with us, the Israelites, being the joint heirs. That's the good news. The prophecy is being fulfilled. Yahushua spoke about nothing but prophecies happening in these last times. The uproars and all the stuff that we see going on, the wars and rumors of wars, the famines, the pestilences, all of this stuff that we see going on. And it's all over the planet. And they spoke about the MOTB, which is a major prophecy and a major no-no not to take. But not everybody's a goddamn expert and breaking down the MOTB. Ain't that about a bitch? 20 years ago, you ain't hear nobody talking about the MOTB except for, we were speaking about it, but you had these Edomite that appear to be Edomites in the what's it called, the Midwest, the Bible something, I forget what they call it, in the Midwest, speaking about the MOTB, and they knew, to a certain degree what it was, and some of them know what it is, but you Israelites, you don't consider the Lord, the ass and the ox, which are some of the dumbest animals on the planet. They know who their master is, but you don't. You're wise to do evil, but to do good you have no knowledge. All right, so it says, but they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who has believed our report? The report is of the arm of the Lord, Yahushai, but it's also, what is Yahushai? Let's go. He is the Son of the Most High, right? But he is also what? The Word. And what also is he? What else? What is his spirit? His spirit is the spirit of prophecy. Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. And that's what we have, the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. So if you are not into the spirit of prophecy, if you don't believe that the prophecies are being fulfilled today, then you're none of Yahushai's. You're none of his. Matter of fact, I'm going to read one precept that I have for later. I'm going to just get it off since that came up. You're none of Yahushai's. Let's go to St. John chapter 10 and verse 26, and then we'll jump to the next precept. St. John 10 and 26. But you believe not, because you are not of my sheep. That's what he was telling wicked Israelites. You don't believe because you're not of the sheep of Yahushai. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I'm sorry, but I got to get to the next one. I was going to save these for a little later, but it's no better time than the present. Romans 14 and 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins, meaning they were not defiled by these different philosophies and doctrines and other gospels that are taught out here. These are they which follow the Lamb. These, for the slow-minded, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. So no matter how many twists and turns this truth takes and the lives of these men take, they're going to follow the Lamb no matter where he goes. And this is speaking about the 144,000, which are the government of Israel underneath Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But now it's also in Revelation 14 and 4, 144. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb, because they are the first spirits that were created, going back to the beginning, and they were the ones that were sealed with these instructions and with the predestination of being the elect. It says, and in their mouth was found no guile. Why? Because they taught the gospel 100%. There was no lie of the truth of what they were teaching. For they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. Why? Because of their ministry, their doctrine, what they're teaching. So now let's go back to Romans. I'm sorry. Now let's go from there to Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 1. Let us therefore fear, lest the promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. Yeah, because you're going to have a lot that's not going to make it. It says, for unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them. See? So these individuals are hearing, but they're not receiving it. Why? But the word preached did not profit them, but it profited the elect. Why? Because the elect, when they heard it, they were sealed because they believed, not being what? Mixed with faith unto them that heard it. So that's why this individual can't get it, and it's not beneficial to him, because when he heard it, he didn't believe it. And he falls under the category of the one of the sower seeds that receive seed by the wayside. Let's go to Matthew chapter 13 and verse 19. It says, let's start at 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not. That's why he said what he said. There ain't going to be no MOTB. They're just trying to buy time. Because he doesn't believe it. He heard the word of the kingdom, but he doesn't understand it. So he's coming with his own understanding, regardless of if he got paid to say what he says or not. And he don't look like an individual that's trustworthy. You know? I would be looking around. If I see a grimy individual like this walking around, I'll be looking, making sure where he going. Where does he go? Says, then cometh the wicked one, which is Satan, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. So he heard it, but it didn't benefit him because it wasn't mixed with faith, because he didn't believe, because he didn't understand it. This is he which received seed by the wayside. So it was just wasted. But it had to be fulfilled. It had to be necessary. So let's go from there to the book of 1 Peter. We're going to keep on keeping on. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 8. And there's nothing that this individual could do. 1 Peter 2 and 8. And a stone of stumbling, let me start at 7. Unto you therefore which believe, he is precious, meaning Yahushua. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner. So whether they accepted him or not, he was still made the head of the corner. And a lot of them rejected him back then. And guess what? These individuals that's coming up trying to fight against this truth and withstanding every word that comes out of the mouth of the prophets, they were the same individuals that were doing it back then. Nothing new under the sun. And Yahushua called them a bunch of vipers. It says, and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word. See? So they stumble at the word. They stumble at the prophecies. They stumble at these mysteries, being disobedient. And why are they disobedient? Whereunto also they were appointed. They were sealed to do this. Just like the elect were sealed to believe and be delivered, the ones that are not a part of the elect of the nation of Israel were sealed to not believe, to come against this truth, to fight against it vehemently to their own destruction. So let's go back to Hebrews 4 and 3. For we which have believed do enter into rest. As he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and the Most High did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, right? Because that is the thing that we've been waiting for. The kingdom, the rest, because this kingdom is polluted. We can't rest here. You can't even get a decent night's sleep in this hole. You'd be lucky if you get 2, 3. If you get 4 hours straight, that is a major accomplishment. Sometimes you might get 1 hour and wake up. You might get 2 hours and wake up. If you get like 3 or 4, that's a major accomplishment. If you get 5 or 6, you're doing good. Because this is not our rest. And that is a part of the healing process. But, we got every goddamn demon in hell fighting against us. So this is, why brothers go through what they go through. And few sisters out there that go through it. Seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. So guess what? This dude right here ain't crossing into the promised land. He ain't going into the chariot to get back over, to the other side of the world, to be the first, to be a partaker of the first dominion. He ain't gonna make it unless he repents, but we don't see him repenting. This guy is a super grimy individual. All right. Now, if he repents, that's a different story, but we don't see that. You could just tell by his demeanor, unless the Lord really hits him, with a liver shot, and sits his ass down and rethink all the shit that he does. He ain't gonna repent. It's gonna take a miracle. All right, so let's go from there to Hebrews. Let's go back one chapter, the third chapter, and let's start at the 12th verse. Hebrews 3, verse 12. It says there, the peril of unbelief. Check that out. Take heed, brethren, and let this be a tale in unbelief. What happens to individuals that don't believe, that talk that shit. And you're going to see what's going to happen to this guy. So Hebrews 3:12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power. So maybe at one time this individual believed in the MOTB. Maybe not. We don't know his full story, but we do know that he don't believe in the MOTB now. And now, how convenient is it that the whole infrastructure of this digital system is being um, advertised in the world, and everything is going digital. Everything's going the way of the MOTB. And now all of a sudden, these individuals want to talk about it, and now all of a sudden they want to cast doubt on whether it's if there's going to be a MOTB system. It's not the micro CHIP. It's this, it's that, it's everything but what the scriptures say it is. Think about it. So Hebrews 3 and 13 now. But exhort one another daily. What it is called today. This is why we do the daily edifications. Bringing out this lesson daily, as often as the Spirit will allow. Lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. It says, for we are made partakers of Yahushua if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end, meaning the beginning of our faith. Steadfast unto the end. He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. While it is said today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts as in the provocation, going back to Egypt, the deliverance from Egypt. It says, for some, when they had heard, did provoke. And that's what this individual is doing right now. He's provoking the Lord to anger and to wrath. Matter of fact, let's look up this word provoke. Provoke. Para picraino. It says to provoke, exasperate, to rouse to indignation, which is righteous anger. So when you're provoking somebody, you're causing them to become enraged, embittered. Boy, you have no clue. The Most High wants to take you devils out so bad, but he got to wait, because his words got to be fulfilled. So it says, for some, when they had heard, did provoke, howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness? And to whom sware he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not? So just because you don't believe doesn't mean that the Lord's prophecies aren't going to come to pass, because they still will. It says, so we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief, because they were not mixed with faith. Now let's go from there to 1 Thessalonians. Almost done here. 2 and 13. It says, for this cause also thank we the Most High without ceasing, Because when you received the word of the Most High, which you heard of us, you received it not as the word of men, but as it is in truth the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which effectually worketh also in you that believe. Because if you don't believe, the effect of the word is not going to help you. It's not going to activate you. See, these individuals, they got the key for activation, but they can't turn it on because of their unbelief. See, the Lord didn't give them that portion. They're seeing it, they're hearing about it, they're hearing the prophets breaking it down, making it crystal clear, but they can't get it because they were not given the main ingredient of belief, because they are not a part of the elect. So let's go from there to 2 Thessalonians. Is it 2 Thessalonians? Hope I wrote the right one down. 2 Thessalonians 2, 12 and 13. It says that they all might be damned who believed not the truth. That's right. But had pleasure in unrighteousness. But we are bound to give thanks always to the Most High for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because the Most High hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. See? So if you didn't get the sanctification and the spirit of belief of the truth, then you're not going to get it. You're going to be like this individual and many others of his ilk. I got a couple more. Let's go to 2 Ezra, chapter 15. Some of you brothers already know where I'm going. We'll start at 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, who are the Lord's people, the Israelites, the words of prophecy. What is one of the main prophecies that we're speaking about? The MOTB. That is right in everybody's face, but a lot of people still can't see it. Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, because we're supposed to give the warning of things that are coming. Fear not the imagination against thee. So don't matter what you intend to do to us. We don't give a shit. No, our life is in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Let not the incredulity or the unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So you let them talk. Let them keep running their yap. It's not going to stop anything. All it's doing is sinking them deeper and deeper, with that destiny or that date with the lake of fire. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And I wouldn't be surprised if this individual here, the Lord saved them all the way to the very end, so that he can try to outrun the missiles and try to tell the Lord that when the MOTB system comes out, try to tell the Lord that the MOTB system wasn't coming. But meanwhile, while he's saying the MOTB ain't coming, but he gonna get that micro chip to be able to function in this society. Bunch of wolf ticket sellers. And the last precept I have is in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, and verse 8. It says, but the fearful and unbelieving, as this individual right here, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And that's talking about the nuclear missiles. And that's what the vision that the Apostle Peter saw, that he wrote about, that the elements shall melt with fervent heat. But he said, but we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, because this earth is wicked. And he wrote that 2,000 years ago. So just imagine how much more wicked it is now. And how much more wicked was the world 2,000 years ago than it was during the time of Ezra, about 400 years or 500 years before that. which is from now, about, let's say, 2,500 years. So how much more wicked do you think the earth is now? So the ones that are unbelieving and everything that was named in here, you're going to have a date with the lake of fire. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time I say, Shalom.